Hi everyone, good evening and welcome to this session which is about the application form filling for Symbiosis Entrance Test SET 2026. So I'm sure you are aware now that the application form are live now for the examinations which are scheduled in May 2026. Yeah. So Symbiosis comes out early with its application forms and the exams are actually scheduled in May. You have enough time, but I'm sure you'll be filling the application form and this form is costly, so you need to understand step by step. And there's a very important procedure when it comes to the Symbiosis admissions, any Symbiosis constituent college admission, whether it is for BBA, whether it is for any other program which has multiple campuses across different cities in the country. Then in that case what happens, you have to also take care of the fact that you have to also apply separately for the programs as well as institutions, so which I'm going to discuss today in the session. So we'll understand step by step how to fill the application form for Symbiosis Entrance Test. And there are two dates available. Am I eligible for both the dates or am I eligible for only one of the dates, which is 2nd of May or 10th of May? So we'll keep on discussing during the course of this session. This session will help you understand what are the steps to take care of. How do I fill the application form for Symbiosis 2026 entrance examination? At the same time, how do I decide upon the institutions? Like how do the payment happens? So there's a very important factor over there. Like if I talk about you may go ahead, write the examination, but if you don't apply to the colleges separately, then in that case you become the topper of the examination. Then also you do not get the interview calls, which means you will not be considered for admission. So I'll keep on discussing that during the course of this session. I'll talk about the examination fee and all. So let's go ahead and understand step by step what how to fill this application form, which is SET 2026. Okay. So the first thing, of course, for any application form is to go to the home page. Symbiosis has a common website for the entrance examination, which is SET as well as CITI actually. So that's for the engineering program. So I'm not going to discuss that today. But for the Symbiosis entrance test, there are multiple courses involved for which admissions are conducted through one single test. So this is the first entry point. Whether you talk about BBA, whether you talk about BBA in media management or information technology, even the BSc program, which is the which is into economics or BSc applied statistics, similarly BA or BSc liberal arts. So through one single examination, you can get entry into the multiple colleges. Okay. So the first thing any student has to do is to go to the SET website, which is this one, set-test.org, and this is where all the action will happen. Now, of course, the first time user will click on apply now. So if you have already registered, then anything you want to check or later do for the admit card downloads or any other action, you'll become an existing user. But first time when you visit this website, you start the registration process. All you have to do is you have to click on this button, which is apply now. When you click this button apply now, then this page will open up where you can see the option for set ID or email ID, password, and the captcha over here. But please understand, this is not what you'll be doing for the first time. You'll have to register yourself first over here. So don't have an account yet, register. So you click here, but before that, I'll suggest you also read the instructions. The instructions are also given over here, how to fill the application form, the payment instructions, the admit card instructions, which are not required at this point of time. The dates are mentioned over there, the list of the cities where the test centers will be created, help desk, the entire bulletin of information is also available here. So it's always advisable that you read beforehand all these documents before you start the application process. But once you have decided that, okay, anyways, I'm going to start the application process because I'm applying for this and this program. And we know Symbiosis is one of the finest institutions in our country. All its colleges are very good. They have good reputation, good placements and all. So you first click on register over here and you begin your registration process. In fact, the registration application all is more or less combined in this application form. Now, the moment you click on register, you first have to sign this declaration. Before initiating the registration, you have to ensure the browser settings or the autofill options are turned off so that incorrect information is not provided. And you must have also you have to also disable your pop-up blocker, because pop-up will be required at some point of time. So you click here that you have read the bulletin, you understand the terms of condition which are given over here, and that you are proceeding with the registration. So on this checkbox, just click your mouse, the which you'll be using, and then you press the continue button over here. So after that, you will see a form opens up where you have to type your name. Now the name should be as per your class 10th or 12th mark sheet. So for most of you, it will be like class 12th appearing, because you are still in class 12th. You will have your board examinations in the month of February or March. So use your class 10th certificate as a reference to type your name over here. There should be no confusion. If you have passed class 12, you can use that as a reference. So you type your name using the keyboard. Then from the drop down, you select your date of birth. So you select the date first, you select the month, you select the year of birth, basically. Okay. Then you have to provide your category over here. Now remember, unlike some of the programs, like in law, there is quota for defense personnel as well. Here, the quota for defense personnel is only applicable for the SICR as an institution. It's not available for BBA, liberal arts, and all other programs. Now, who are eligible for reservation at Symbiosis? While it's a private college, not necessarily it does not, but it does offer the reservation for the students who belong to scheduled caste, scheduled tribe category, persons with disability, and there are seats reserved for Kashmiri migrants and Kashmiri Pandits or Hindu families who are living in Kashmir Valley. Okay, and of course, there is general category seat. So you'll select from the drop down which category you belong to, whether it's going to be a general one through where you'll select the open, or any of the other reserve category you belong to. So once you have done that, then you will provide your email and mobile number. So this is address for communication. The code is given over here. Then you'll provide your mobile number over here, on which you want to have all the information. Remember, they'll send you your login ID and password through WhatsApp. So please be careful, whichever number you are sharing, it's in use always, at least till the time of selection. Please ensure that. Then you have to provide your email ID, and you have to retype your email ID over here. As so far, it's a very simple process. Now, if you belong to SC or ST category, and if you select that from the drop down, they give you an instruction which mentions that caste certificate only issued for respective state government benefits will not be accepted. Okay, which means the SC/ST certificate should be by the Government of India authority and should not be by state authority. So if it's only about getting the benefit in the respective state, then that is not applicable. They are looking at all India certificate, basically. So please ensure that if your caste doesn't fall under the all India list for the scheduled caste or scheduled tribe, you'll not be considered for reservation. Caste certificate, if issued in vernacular, will need to be supported by certified English translation issued by a competent authority. Okay. Just in case your caste certificate has been issued in any other language other than English, then you have to provide a supporting document as well, which translates that caste certificate. What does it mention actually? So that should be by a competent authority. A notary can help you out there. Notaries sit in front of the court actually. So just remember this. Okay. For the students who belong to the PWD category, only these types of disabilities are covered. So there are 22 disabilities which are covered over here. If you select yes to that question, if you're the moment you select, the drop down will show you all this. So all the 22 disabilities are listed over here, and only these are eligible. You don't have to select your disability over here, by the way, but they have listed that only these will be considered over here. Okay. Then we move on. There is another question. Are you an NRI candidate? If it applies to you, then do fill yes. If it doesn't apply to you, in most of the cases, the option here will be no. From the drop down, you select your nationality that is listed. Of course, Indian is on top, so it will be easy to select. Then you have to provide your educational background. Okay, 10+2 standard educational background आपको यहाँ पर provide करना है. And then we are, remember, talking about the set examination, which covers liberal arts, mass communication, BBA, economics program, and all, not the engineering program. City is for the engineering program. Both the exams happen on the same date. So now the question is, should I go for both the tests? Or should I go for one test? The first test will happen on 2nd of May. The second test will happen on 10th of May. The best of the scores can be put forward for the further selection process. So it is advised that you go ahead and apply for both the tests, 2nd and 10th of May. And just in case your first test doesn't go well, you learn from the mistakes or you learn from there. In on 10th of May, you'll definitely do better. The best of the scores between the two will be put forward for the next round of selection process, which is interview. But before that, it is for shortlisting. So that becomes your cutoff actually. So if you select either of this, the payment will change. One test costs INR 2250 rupees. One test is about 2250 rupees. So if you apply for both the tests, then in that case your cost of application becomes 4500. And remember, this cost is only for appearing for the examination. This is not for the further process. This is only for appearing for the set examination on 2nd and 10th May. So if you select one date, the cost will be for application will be 2250, and if you select both dates, the cost for the application will be 4500. You have to also pay for the programs and the institutions separately, and that's 1,000 rupees per program per institute. Okay, so we'll come to that shortly, but before that, this is how you have to understand. One test will cost you 2250, both the tests will cost you 4500. Okay, now let's say you select both the tests. Accordingly, you'll have to select your test city preferences. So from the drop down, you'll select in which state, in which city you want to take the examination. You have to give three distinct preferences. The it will not accept the same preferences in all three, so you'll have to give three distinct preferences. Now, how do you decide? If your city where you reside in is listed over here, that's the best one. Okay, if not, the most nearest city should be picked up, because remember, May is the time when you'll have most of the examinations. So you can't travel far away. You don't go with the thought that, okay, this is the only exam I want to enjoy there, I go and tour the city. You'll have to come back as well. So the place of residence or near to that should be your criteria to decide the test city preferences. You have to give three preferences. Usually first is allocated, but in cases where your allocation does not happens for your first preference, then they'll go for second and finally go for third. Okay, so this has to be done for both the days actually, if you have selected both, or otherwise if you select one, this has to be done for that actually. Okay, so test one, test two, this is how the form will appear depending on the checkbox you select. So just for the informational purposes today, I selected both the checkbox, but I went ahead with only one of the dates because it doesn't let me proceed without making that payment. So I have to pay while I'm not eligible for the examination, but I had to pay for this. Okay. Next is the last part of the first process is uploading your passport size photo over here, which should be in JPG format or GIF format or PNG format. And the size should be between 10 KB and 500 KB. Keep a good resolution photograph, somewhere around 400 KB. You can compress that. There are so many online tools available. Take your photograph in front of a white background, actually, passport size photograph, just like you go when you go to somewhere else to get that done. So nowadays it's possible on mobile. Okay, so just upload that and then click on this checkbox which says I have read the bulletin, verified my name, date of birth, category, photograph, date, test date, and test city, and appear that I am aware that once saved, I cannot change that because that will be captured. Once done, the first part of the process, you click on save and continue and move to the next page, which will be about OTP. So the mobile number which you had given earlier, now you'll get an OTP over there. You'll submit your OTP and this will take you now to the payment part. Okay. The first thing is you'll see your name over here. You'll see your email ID over here. You'll see your category, your date of birth, which you've already filled in. And because I selected only one test, the cost is visible over here, which is 2250. If you select both tests, the cost will be 4500 rupees. This is what it will be visible over here. Remember, in this form, the payment is earlier, not at the end of the form. So you cannot proceed with rest of the application form unless you have made this payment. So there are three different gateways. Select one, go ahead and make the payment. Once the transaction is done, once your payment has been done, you'll get the receipt number over here, which will also be available in the preview, but you'll get your receipt number over here. Now you have to click on continue to complete the application process. So let's continue. We click on the application. You can see your set ID generated over here. You can see your photograph over here. Now once you continue, you will see your some of the personal information already available. Your name is already available out here. Your date of birth will be visible. I have masked it here. Then you have to just select with gender, male, female, or transgender. You have to select your gender over here. Nationality is pre-filled. Category is pre-filled. Are you NRI category candidate? That's already pre-filled because we all gave that information earlier. Then we have to provide the address for communication. Okay, so you'll type your address, your city, your from the drop down, select your state, you type your pin code. Your mobile number already is available over here, which you use for the registration, but now you have to give your alternate mobile number, your mom, dad, or guardian's mobile number. Alternate mobile number has to be provided. My suggestion is don't give your second number. If you have two SIMs, just give your parents number over here. Your primary email and the primary email is over here. Now please understand that be careful when you are typing this. Okay, then you have to provide your class 10th detail. So board, you have to select from the drop down, whether it is CBSC, ICSC, any board, other board. The list is available over here, already populated. You select from the drop down in which year you passed your class 10th and what's the percentage of marks you obtained. Similarly, you have to select your educational background for 10 plus 2. And first, you have to select your stream. Okay, first is from the drop down, select your stream. Second is where you'll have the option past or appearing. In most cases, it is going to be appearing because you'll be appearing for your examination very soon. But if you have already completed your class 12, then from the drop down, you'll select past. If you select past over here, then you have to provide your percentage of marks obtained, grades. Okay, if your results are in CGPA or grades, then convert the same into percentage and type over here, and from the drop down select the year of passing. But if you select if you select over here as appearing, then it will not ask you for any percentage of marks. Okay, please understand this. Now then you can see, depending on which test you selected, I selected only the first one because I'm just showcasing this to you. If you select both the dates, then you'll see this both times. Okay, so you'll see the test preference details for both over here, test 1 and test 2, and then you move ahead. Now this is the most crucial part. These are the programs and institutions listed as far as set examination is concerned, which means if you're seeking admissions to the BBA program, which could be BBA honors or honors with research, then it makes it 3-year, 4-year duration. Then if you're looking at the 4-year duration, if you're looking at that, now there are multiple campuses for BBA. You have Pune, you have Bengaluru, you have Noida, you have Nagpur, Symbiosis Center for Management Studies. Okay, now if you wish to apply for another program, which is for the liberal arts, BA or BSc liberal arts in Symbiosis School of Liberal Arts, Pune. Okay, wherever the city is not mentioned, the campus is going to be Pune. Okay, so it is the BBA program which is available at multiple locations. Now they are adding up this Australia thing as well. So mostly the locations are Pune, and in some cases it is Noida and other places as well. Mostly the BBA programs are available in multiple locations, 5 locations actually. Now the point here is, if you select one program, BBA at Pune, then your next cost is going to be 1,000 rupees. Okay, and why this is important. So I selected, let's say, BBA in Pune. I also select BBA in Bengaluru. I also select BBA in Noida. Then in that case, it adds up to another 2,000, which means my next payment is going to be 3,000 rupees. Okay, so the every checkbox you click over here, the cost of application will move on by 1,000 rupees. So there are five campuses of BBA. If you are putting all the five campuses in the consideration list, your next cost is going to be 5,000. If you're putting up liberal arts, that add another one, the cost will become 6,000. So that's how you have to decide. Now, when it comes to the campus listing, the first priority should always go to Pune, followed by Noida, followed by Hyderabad. And I'm giving you the listing, the ranks for the institutions of BBA, followed by Bengaluru, and then you have to, then the only option is Nagpur. So this is the ranking order as far as the BBA courses are concerned, because for them it's at multiple locations. Okay, so Pune should be your first priority, followed by Noida, Hyderabad, Bengaluru, and Nagpur. Every single form. Now, what happens if you don't make the payment right now? You'll have time. You'll have the time. Abhi bahut time hai. 2-3 minute time hai. You can apply for that. But if you give the exam and you don't make these payment, these 1,000 rupees per institution per program, then what happens? You go, you appear for the examination, you appeared for set. Out of 60 marks, let's say you scored 60 marks, you are all India rank 1. You got the best score over there. So, you are ranked 1, but you will not be called for the selection. You will not be called for the next stage, which is going to be the personal round, because this payment was not done. Remember this. So 2,250 or 4,500 is just ensuring that you are appearing for the examination. After that, your score is of no use if you don't make payment to these colleges for the respective program. It's your choice which program, which course. But if you don't make that, tomorrow you cannot say that I was not selected, I never received the personal interview. This is how the process is. So you have to be very, very careful. They are also asking, would you like to be considered for the Symbiosis Dubai undergraduate program? For more details, you can visit Symbiosis International Dubai website. So in case you wish to apply, then select yes, otherwise select no. How did you learn about SCT? Are you a first generation learner? What do you mean by first generation learner? A first generation student is one whose parents have not completed a college or university degree. So for most of you, it is going to be no. But select appropriately. Okay, then you'll see your photograph already uploaded. Save and continue. And what will happen now? It will ask for that payment. So I selected 2 of the BBA programs to showcase today. So now it is asking me 2,000 to be paid. So this is the last step. And then what happens? You to ensure that everything is in order, you just at the end, once you have made the payment, just click on preview and print application and check if everything is in right order, if every information is correct. If not, raise a query. Okay, so this is how this set application form needs to be filled. Okay, so this is how it is going to be. Please understand. Okay. Yes, PWD includes learning disability. MAC, I have already explained the fee as far as the exam is concerned. So, guys, form is not complicated. As far as personal details are to be filled, the only thing you have to take care of is you must go ahead with the details of which institutions you want to apply, because unless you do apply to the institutions, your set score will be of no use. You will have already paid money, but that will be of no use. Okay, so that's how you fill the Symbiosis Entrance Test application form. Time hai, don't rush. After you complete your first pre-boards, then you go ahead and fill the form. It will hardly take 30 minutes, and that's how it is going to be. Okay, so that's all for today's session. And for the upcoming forms, the bigger ones, I'll be definitely coming live every time, like it's going to be for the IPM programs. I'm definitely going to come and fill the application form to help you out. Okay, so keep learning, keep watching, and all the best.